I don't care what you do. I really, really don't care what you do behind closed doors, and I don't need to know about it. One of the things I find a bit weird about Pride movement is that it was all fun. When I was growing up, it was fun. Gay people did their marches and they had certain events to bring awareness to their lifestyles and everything. And it was always in good spirits and, yeah, like a fun time with actual drag queens that were men. They knew they were men, but they liked the overly feminine kind of drag look with the big hair and the big makeup. And I used to be, I was fascinated. I was like, wow, look at that. Look what she's got on or he's got on, whatever they went by at that time. It was performance art. It was an act. And I liked the overly feminine to the point of ridiculousness. Like, you know, the big eyelashes and stuff. That's part of the performance. And that was cool. But, I don't know, lately, I mean, them aside, because I'm pretty sure they'll always be fun, but them aside, you're just a little bit too angry here and pushing your sexuality on everybody else. And what do I mean by that? I mean that just think of yourself as a big pie, a sweet pie. And on that pie chart, there are many different slices. And those slices are, you know, about your job or about your hobbies, how much money you make, what car you drive, what your pet is, if it's a dog or a cat, if you're a third child or a firstborn. Your sexuality and your penis is a very small, or if you're unlucky, a very small part of that. It seems like over the past, few years, it seems like that small piece of the pie chart has been expanded to include every single thing rather than the other things that make you you. And that is pretty abrasive and rubs people up the wrong way. Just the simple fact that we don't care. And when I say care, I mean don't mind. We don't mind, we don't care. We don't care what's between your legs. We don't mind what you have down there. We don't mind how you use it, who you use it with, as long as it's in your house or whatever. It's none of my business. Just like my sexuality is none of your business unless I choose to tell you. And I don't really have a reason to tell you unless, I don't know, it comes up in conversation or you're trying to F me. So when people come up and they make a video and the first thing they say is, oh, my name is, and then they say, I'm a trans, I don't care. Tell me about your car. Tell me about your mom or your cat or something. Unless we're discussing sexuality or preferences, something to do with that whole genre and world, I don't need to know. I just want to know if we've got stuff in common so I can tell if we can be friends. And even then, if we can't, I'm still going to be nice to you. I don't think there's anybody in their right mind that would be cruel to someone for any sort of reason like that. I don't know, anybody that legitimately makes fun of people for that sexual preference or any sexual preference. But what I am seeing is stray people and gay people that are kind of been in that lifestyle for a while, that are joining the other people, scratching their heads saying, well, we don't need to know. Never once have I gone up to a female or a male and said, hey, I'm Eva and I like the D. You can just assume that from the partners that I've chosen or some of the stories that I tell. But the rest of it's none of your business. I don't really want to meet someone and then the first thing they're doing is like imagining me having sex with somebody or like what might be between my legs. Why the hell would I want that? The reason that I don't like that and that I don't have that happen is because there's so much to my pie chart that is a small part. I can talk about the places I've performed, or I can talk about the books that I've written, and I can talk about all these other hobbies and talents and stuff and these experiences because I've worked on them and I've had them. Never relied on a body part to speak for me because I had no substance behind it. And a lot of the times that's how it's coming across at the moment. You got nothing, you're too lazy to create something or work on yourself, so you flash this card real quick in front of everyone's face. Look, this is the thing that you need to accept about me and ask no more questions. Because how dare you want to know anything else about me? Because this is what you should know, even though I don't want you to judge me on just this one crumb of information I've given you about me. So a lot of the times I'm noticing that people are not really gelling with the fact that some people are wanting one thing but forcing a response from someone that they don't want. Because nobody wants to go, hey, can you just fuck off? Like, we don't need to know this. Like, people don't want to say that. If you're doing your thing, like, do your thing. We don't care. But because you're putting it in people's faces and you're provoking a response, you keep provoking until they snap back and say these things to you. Then you point the finger and say, see, I knew it. It's discriminatory. It's not. It's not discriminatory that you're another sexual preference. It's discriminatory that you're being a dickhead. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody wants to know. We're all happy for you. It started to be not fun. And the whole trans, queer, whatever community, like, that used to be fun. Used to be lights and colors, mucking around and being silly and making new friends. And now it just seems like there's a lot of anger, and it's really making people alienated. And when they hear about certain communities, it puts their back up. You sort of created the response that you say you didn't want.